Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 23 of Be With Me. And I'm going to title today's podcast, Jesus Offends Me, So I Hate Him. Now, I hope you're enjoying this podcast. And if you do enjoy it, I'm glad that you're here. But on the other hand, if you're not enjoying this podcast and this podcast offends you, I'm especially glad that you're here. So what's the deal here? Why is it that some people are very irked by Jesus? What is it that offends people about Jesus so much? Today's passage tells us the answer to that. It's in John chapter 15, and we're going to start in verse 18. And it talks about the world's hate and the reason for the hate. So let's get to it. If the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love you as its own. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. They persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will also keep yours. But all these things they will do to you on account of my name, because they do not know him who sent me. So he's going to get to the reason now, but he's saying so far that they're hating me and you're in the same boat as me, so that's going to spill over and they're going to hate you. It's going to be because of the account of my name, because you're associated with my name, because you're in my family, that you're bringing the same message, that you're part of the kingdom, because I've chosen you, because you were with me, they're going to hate you. But now we're going to get to the point of why are they hating Jesus? Verse 22 of John chapter 15. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would have been guilty of sin. But now they have no excuse for their sin. Whoever hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works that no one else did, they would not be guilty of sin. But now they have seen and hated both me and my Father. But the word was written in their law must be fulfilled. They hated me without a cause. That's from Psalm 35. Okay, so here's the big concept for today is we're getting at why do people hate Jesus? And he tells us in the passage that there are like two categories that we perceive our sin in. One is excusable sin and the other inexcusable or unexcusable sin. And the fact that Jesus came and moves people from a category where all my sin is an inexcusable, I'm okay kind of a category. And then when Jesus comes, he moves it into an unexcusable sin. So think about two categories in your mind. One is excusable sins. So I'm just under that category. Hey, everybody does this sin. The devil made me do it. My sin isn't as bad as Hitler or Jeffrey Dahmer or some bad example person. Or I have an excuse for my sin. I was tired. I was hungry. I was tempted. So as far as like everybody does it, no, Jesus didn't do it. But that's offensive. Well, the devil made me do it. No, you're tempted from the inside. Or my sin is excusable because I was tired or hungry or tempted. Well, Jesus was tired, tempted, hungry, beaten, and yet remained without sin. So in all those categories, all these little micro excuses that I make for my sin are being washed away, and that is offensive. So my sin is being taken from an excusable category, which is how I normally live my life, to an unexcusable, and that's offensive to me. So rather than saying the things that we should have said about Jesus as like, hey, we need help, we've got a sin problem, we're fighting God and saying, I don't have a sin problem. I don't have a sin problem that's that bad. My sin's not that bad. And I don't have a sin problem that needed the kind of saving that that the Lord has offered as a remedy. For heaven's sakes, not a remedy of sin that needs wounds and blood. I don't like that. So this offends me. The offense of the gospel is, number one, that I'm not okay. Number two, that I have sin. I don't like that. And number three, that the remedy that God has ordained for this, a perfect Savior that comes and takes the sin in a suffering, bloody sort of way, that all those things offend me because my sin is now offensive. It moved from an excusable sin to an unexcusable sin. So the offense of the good news is that there's bad news. What's the bad news? That there's sin, the sin's in me, and it needs to be fixed. So the offense of Easter is that there's a Good Friday and that I need the Good Friday. I need the fix. Because my excusable sins have now gone into an unexcusable, an inexcusable, unpalatable category. Therefore, I'm going to rage against the man. That's Jesus. I'm going to rage against his family. That's you. So think about this, though. If you're caught up in this, and because you're a representative of him, you're part of his kingdom, you're part of his family, and you're part of this reconciliation process that he has made, it's kind of an honor, actually. It means that we have been chosen by him, that God can be known, that we're part of his family, that we're part of sort of this generation of God's kingdom on earth. And if I'm bringing up the hate of people for Jesus, it kind of means you're in the right place. So in a sense, if you are being hated or misunderstood or part of this offense of people, it probably means you're in the right place. You're smack dab in the middle of people's excusable to unexcusable sin. So today, Jesus offends me, so I hate him. It makes quite a bit more sense today because especially of verse 22. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not have been guilty of sin, but now they have no excuse. So they rage against the man, they're offended, and they hate him. I thank you so much. If you are one of the people who are offended by this podcast, I am thrilled that you're here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having the guts to listen. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.